So, but why do we do test, irrespective of whether it is electronics, your mechanical, vehicle or software? Uh, the one important reason is humans are imperfect thinkers. Okay, nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. We all make assumptions. We don't communicate perfectly. So that is one main reason why testing is needed. It is again, if you ask a question, so if you are not perfect thinkers, even testers are not perfect. So how can you ensure quality? Hopefully that answers your question, because we cannot assure anything, right? So we reduce. We there are different ways to we reduce the error. So that is one main reason. And with respect to software, the other critical reason, the second out of two, which you will just need to keep in mind, is computer programs are super fast dump machines. Okay, when I mean dump, literally they literally do what you tell to do, right? What is being told, they follow to the perfect to the perfect point, right? So they can't do anything beyond that, but they do what is being told very perfectly. Like it is like this genie in the Aladdin, right? So if you ask to do it, exactly does what is being told, right? That is another reason. These are the two core reasons why we test. Okay, so software is like a recipe, right? So you follow the recipe, you can make the same dish multiple times. That is what a recipe is equivalent. A software is equivalent to your recipe. That is my, yeah. So that is what it's here. So software programming is so it is like a recipe, not the end product. Okay, so to give a quick example, let's say if you wanted to make a cake, that is an instruction written. So you follow that. Let's say the cake says, sorry, the instruction or the recipe says, okay, add 4 large quantities of egg. Let's say the instruction says, add 4 large eggs or a 6 medium egg. So the computer, if you convert the same to a computer program, the computer will be able to do if there are exactly either 4 large eggs or 6 medium eggs. What if it's not there? As a human, what will you do? Your brain is able to think and then start finding if it does not exist. If not, then what should I do? So if so, then do this. If not, what to do? As a human, based on your experience, based on your learnings, you will figure out, okay, maybe let's say, what will you do if there are 3 large eggs and 3 medium eggs? Maybe you will come with a conclusion that, okay, if I'm not having 4 large eggs, let me use 3 large eggs and 2 small eggs. Maybe I will do that. Somebody else will do, okay, maybe I will use 3 large eggs and 3 medium eggs. For them, 3 medium egg equal to 1 large egg. So you make these assumptions, or you go to the shop, you buy eggs and come. What if the egg is not there in the shop? You go to the next shop. What if it is not there? You go next. So are you getting it where it is heading? So this is an so to actually if you start looking at variable options when things are not in place and things keeps going wrong, this reading the recipe and making a cake might get into an infinite thing that will never ending thing. So if there is no your recipe is unambiguous, that is what I told, right? If it says use 4 large eggs, you may not know what is large, right? Rather, instruction could be use, let's say, 400 grams of egg. That is more precise, right? So instead of 4 large eggs, maybe you can keep breaking the egg and keep putting it, and then see if it comes to 400. So that is an example for an ambiguous thing. So your program must be unambiguous. It should be complete. For instance, if go and buy an egg. If, let's say, next thing is you write another logic. Okay, if no egg, go and buy egg from store. What if there is no egg in the store? You may say it goes to the next store. So it can keep going to the entire stores in the world. So it has to be complete, and it has to be terminate at certain times. So this is the next main reason why we need to test software. Okay, so we are we are not a perfect thinkers, and computer programs are they are dumb, but super fast. They follow the instructions pretty perfectly, but the problem is they just follow the instruction. So these are the two main reasons why we test software. Okay, now let's get into what is software testing. Okay, what Moolya thinks. Okay, so what Moolya thinks as software testing. So why somebody builds software? Any idea? Why somebody wants to start Flipkart, or why somebody decide to start Cred, or somebody created
Problem
an
solving for the problem solving of their idea and to get better reach as well.
okay.
Because a shop cannot reach a wider customer range, but an online
Yeah.
product, online idea can reach a wider range as well.
Yes.
To grow their business as well.
Push to grow their business as well. Yes. So, do you think any any business or any problem can be solved without a software?
It depends on type of business, as for me.
Say a problem, or a business problem. Let's not call business problem in general a problem. Let's think about something that cannot be solved without a software. Okay, so see again, this is something my experience and my view. I'm still, if somebody can think of, it's it will be a profound insight for me. So how I put things is like there is nothing like something that cannot be solved without a software. Okay, software, what it does is like a couple of few others like Lisa and Anurag knowingly or unknowingly said, it helps you to improve your reach. It makes you more efficient. Okay, for example, medical practices. No, what I am saying is the one that cannot be done without software. Medical practice can be done without software. So can you think of anything that cannot be solved without having a software? Okay, so how in general to me is software helps in improving the efficiency and reach and all those. Let's take an example of banking. Yeah, the banking. No, again, e-commerce is a commerce with an E, right? Before e-commerce, we had shops. So let's say there is no e-commerce site. What will happen to us? Instead of that, we will walk to the store and buy the things and come, right? The commerce business still exists. The commerce still exists, right? The problem can be solved. What is a commerce like? If I want to buy something, there is somebody else selling the product. I go and buy. That is something that exists for more than maybe 5,000, 10,000 years. The day that started so that exists, right? So it can be done without software. But what happens with software is it becomes more efficient, right? More reach. Somebody can be sitting in the remote villages now, can sell the product to you, send the product to you. That is how it helps. It connects the the supply and the demand, or the needy and the one that has the goods. Let's say with banking, you can do bank without software. So those days, everything is kept in ledger. And by the way, if you look at all the icons that you have it in the computers, came from the real world. Why is it called folder? Why is it called files? Right? Even if you look at your smartphone, what is the icon for the phone? No, it's a olden day. Even before electronic, it was a mechanical communication device. So even your telecom existed without even the software, even without even electronics, right? So banking, what they did, they had a ledgers. 100 years before, you see, everything is taken in a pen and paper, right? So you maintain the ledger. That is why even if you look at some of the software terms, they still use the ledger balance and all those things. So anything can be solved without a software, but software brings speed, efficiency, performance, all those. Okay, but we are reaching a stage where things cannot exist without software because it has helped to scale. Okay, so that is what it is. Even coming back to the so-called the modern day machine learning, AI, all those. Why is it possible is because of two things: computers are super fast, and they have a I would say close to infinite memory. Okay, these are the two things. They can do repetitive tasks again and again and again, and they are super fast. Okay, so what happens in the machine learning or AI, pattern recognition, all those things? Right? See, if not computer, the human will take 100 years to do. For example, if you want to predict certain things, for weather forecast is a great example to predict. Right? That is almost next to impossible. If you don't have computers, because if you want to predict the weather, which is within 1 week, it's all about maths. If not computer, the human needs to do manually calculate, put everything, and then finally it will take 100 years to predict what is the weather that is going to be the next week, right? So that's all software does. So coming back to the question of, let's say, now what is happening is every problem is now getting solved through software. We have reached a stage because that is more efficient. So why do you want to keep repeating things? For example, 500 years before, if somebody, let's say, able to calculate the square root of 2 using pen and paper, that is a great achievement, right? Because they found something profound, and then they started calculating. But today, you don't even need to know how a square root is calculated. Right? You have computer, or you can calculate it. Even simpler the calculator, right? So maybe 100 years back, your calculator was a machine learning artificial intelligence, because it has an intelligence to calculate square root of 2. But of course, there's a difference. I'm keeping it very simple, because the machine learning is something that that keeps learning. You don't actually use the logic alone. That is a different term. But in a very, very, very basic level, the computers are super fast, and they can keep repeating the task without making any mistake. Okay, so now that is why the things, every problem is getting solved using softwares, right? Let's take some more of consumer product, because it'll be easy to discuss. Okay, so what do you think? What is the problem statement? What is the problem that CODA is trying to solve, or let's say, CRUD is trying to solve? What is the problem statement?
So what I was saying is, Food Panda again into the food business, and then they want to grow, but at the same time they want to experiment a few new things. Like, let's say, they want to launch a new restaurants in their page. They want to get into the new ad campaigns, and also they just want to make sure that everything they put it on their website or they put it on their mobile pages are working fine, and end user should not face any issue when they access, because
Okay.
the end goal for them is to make the end user happy and then retain them. And the end user will be retained only if the end user has a good experience.
Yeah.
And that comes up when we deliver a good quality product.
Yes. What is it we are delivering? What is the Food Panda that is delivering?
Food. So if I talk about overall, they're delivering good quality of ads and the experience to the user. Okay. So let's say I have to order something on Food Panda. I should be as a end user and the person who doesn't know anything about online. I should be able to access the Food Panda website or apps very easily and order my food. That will be my expectation as a user. So Food Panda is trying to make sure that this expectation is met. There shouldn't be any complicated flows or anything which user doesn't understand.
Okay. See, that I would say is more of their the USP, or how to be better with the competitor. Let's take it a very simpler thing. I think it is trying to solve by connecting the see, again, all the business. If you see, again, I might be sounding, yeah, Anish.
Yeah, I would like to say, means Food Panda or anything is trying to solve. Means you ask the problem, what they are trying to solve. They are trying to act as a waiter. Means if you want food, they are acting as a waiter, just like, means to make our life easy. We are sitting at home and we will order something, and they will bring that to us.
Yeah. See, again, it might be a little diverting from the actual topic, but I'm getting into maybe the core, of commerce or economics, right? So it's end of the day, the business it's all about connecting between the supply and the demand. Okay, so I need something, you have that something with you. Okay, and then we exchange, and then that is what the economy is. Okay, if it's a food panda, what it does is, okay, there are people who are selling food, and there are people who wanted to buy food. Okay, before what you do, so why hotels started? They started doing it. Hey, you, I know you want to eat food. I have food. Come and eat in my place. Okay, now as the things grow and the way of living, everything changes. There was an opportunity. The software is helping. If no software, nobody could have started things like Swiggy or Foodpanda or Cred or even Flipkart, right? So they thought that, okay, don't worry, you sit at home. Why food should come? Why you should come there? Let me send the food. So now they have started aggregating, right? So you can get food from anybody. Same thing, you look for Flipkart. What Flipkart or Amazon does, rather than you go to the store, I bring what you want. So now the thing is, again, they're able to expand the reach. Now even we can buy from US, right? Not necessarily within India. Even you can buy from China, but yeah, Alibaba is banned in India now. So you can buy from US and it comes to you, right? So at the end, it's connecting. The problem is the problem statement is there is someone who needs something, and there is someone who can sell that something. So what something is depends on each customer. Cred, apply the same logic. Like we try to define a model, right? So what is a model? It's a simplified representation of complex things. You can apply to you can apply this definition and try to understand, okay, what is which complex things I am simplifying. So similarly, if you apply this broader sense of broader definition of commerce, it applies everywhere. What is cred? What is cred doing? Okay, there is somebody who wants to pay credit card bill. So he wants to pay bill, and somebody who is waiting there to get the bill or get their bill paid. They are connecting these two parties, right? That is a problem statement that somebody is trying to solve. Of course, there are the other problem statements. For example, you can ask a question: what is Facebook doing? What is their problem statement? So how many of you heard this term? What is the new oil? So oil is the 19th century gold, right? People call that, because that is what decides the entire world's economy. So oil is said to be the new gold of 19th century. So now the world is saying something as the new oil, maybe in the 21st century. What is that?
Data.
Data, yes. Data is the new oil, right? So what is Facebook doing? We are collecting data. So at the end, what is going to happen is the data will be converted to money, right? So they do some service, you get money. That's the fundamental. Okay, so now this is what people keep thinking. Okay, what I can solve. So the one big shift in this century is any problem statement that somebody comes, now they are thinking how I can solve using software. These days, nobody can solve any problem without software. That is the stage we have reached. Even somebody told about medical practice. What is happening now? Of course, medical practice can be done without software. But what is happening now? People are using softwares to do medical practice. So you don't need to go to doctor. Okay, doctor come to your house, which means virtually, right? So you use Practo, those kind of products, and then certain things can be solved. Of course, not everything. Certain things can be solved. So that is what. Okay. So now coming back to the business. Okay. So what is software? So somebody has a business idea. So that is what we were talking all this while. Some business idea. What is the business idea Cred had? What is the business idea Foodpanda had? So Tumul, to go back to your answer, yes, that is more in detail of what those kind of things, how to differentiate with the competitor. So those are all the answers that they try to find once they get into the business. But probably the thing they wanted, the problem statement they tried to solve at the beginning when they had idea is, okay, let's connect people who want to food and who is selling food. Okay, you be at home, I deliver through my delivery partners. So what this resulted in, coming up with a new industry, right? So there are delivery aggregators. It's not that Swiggy might be, maybe Swiggy is delivering using their own software. But let's say you have a business idea. I have my friend in Chennai who came up with a very interesting idea of delivering a full-fledged fish meal. That's the only meal he sells. Right? The dried fish, Sunday one. So I was talking to him, and then he said, I thought, okay, how do you deliver? So there are delivery partners. So you don't need to, have your own, guys to deliver. You outsource it. So that company, what they do, they have built a product to deliver. They have they have people, who are available. So all you need to do is your order gets to their system. They come and pick the order. They deliver it. That is the company that figures out the optimized path. Let's say, put the same thing in Bangalore. Let's say Sunday morning, instead of, let's say my friend doing it here, I'm doing it in Bangalore. So I have got a 50 orders that has to be delivered to 50 different places. So all the 50 orders get into this, my, delivery partner or the company which does that. I feed the system, I feed my data, data goes there, and his software figures out, okay, out of this 50 parcels, what is the optimized path, how many delivery partners I need for tomorrow to deliver. They take care of it. This gives to a new business altogether. So this is what actually, they have some business idea, right? So to solve that, they build the product. What they do. So let's say, Kunal Shah had this idea. He being a millionaire already. Do you think he will sit and do? No. What does he do? He hires the right people. Again, you can relate to this, to all those strategies that we talk about. So you have a problem. Everybody has at every stage there's a strategy. What could have been the strategy of Kunal Shah when he started Cred? Let me hire the best talent and let me hire the best engineering team and the product team. Let them solve the problem. Okay, so what the product team does now. So that these are the two core teams that you all interact with, right? So product team understands, okay, this is the vision that Kunal Shah has in his mind. Now let's start. What do? They start building the models. Here is the product that we want to develop. Here is, you start creating the models of the product, right? And that is what is shared with the engineering team. So we also be, as a testing team, we are more part of the engineering teams in general. And here is where again the shift that Moolya wants to do. We need to equally be between both, product team and engineering team. So we serve both these teams. So that is where the product, if you are more aligned to product, that is where you become a BA in test. If you more aligned towards technical things, you want to become a software developer of code quality, or you are balanced between these two, not going deeper in any of those. You want to be a more generalist. That is what a software tester or a test thought leadership in testing. Okay, so what does now coming? So these are the two teams that are hired, but they want to know. Somebody gave this answer. They want. I think it's Priya. So here is the answer, right answer for that. So what do they need to know? They wanted to know, are we building the right? Because these teams are focused on what they want to build. Okay, so this product team focus. Okay, I want to build product. Here is how my product should be. So their focus is, they converge towards that. Engineering team, okay, here is the model, here is the idea that they have. So how do I make it to a reality? So they focus on, they converge towards building it. So, but who is giving the feedback of, okay, I am doing it right, or are we on the right track? That someone is what we are. So testing is a feedback loop. Okay, so someone wants to feedback. So let's say you are building things. So are we building the right things? Who is going to give answers to those questions? That is what we testers do. So testing is providing quality related information to the stakeholders. That is what Moolya subscribes to. That is what we believe the software testing is. We don't believe that we assure quality, or we don't believe in purely counting the number of test cases, which is the progress, right? So what we believe is, we believe software testing is these people who give the feedback about the product to various stakeholders. Okay, to keep an analogy, and this is the first lesson that you will read in your, if you happen to, read the book Lessons Learned in Software Testing. So who are testers? The beautiful analogy given in that book is we are like headlights of a vehicle. Okay, so what a headlight does, it gives a feedback of the road in front of you. Let's say you are driving at night time, right? So what does the headlight do? It provides what is the path ahead in front of us. So what will you do based on that? So based on that, you as a driver, you take action, right? You here means I'm not saying that we as a tester, but we as a person on the driving seat, right? So he's a stakeholder of the vehicle. Vehicle is the product, and who are we? We are the headlights of the product. So we show the path in front of us, and we give the feedback about the path. Hey, the road is not good here, or there is an vehicle coming in front of us, or there is a turn in this road. There is a road that is turning. All these things is what is a feedback that is given to the driver, and based on the feedback that you give, they may or may not take certain decisions. Okay, so what can the headlight do, in spite of that is a turning, the driver decide not to turn the steering? Will the headlight jump and come to the seat and turn the car? No. So we cannot assure quality. That is what I could say with a weird or a funny analogy. Okay, so we can't assure quality, but we provide the quality related information. So how can, now putting this analogy and understanding of we provide the feedback, we are the feedback system about the product. So how can you help the overall business to deliver a better product? If you give a better feedback, feedback that is very early, not too late. What if the headlight is too dim? You're not able to see. Let's say the car is going at 80 or 60, and if it is too dim and it is just showing 10 feet in front of you, the feedback is just in 10 feet in front of you. There is no way that the vehicle can be controlled before it hits, before the turn comes, right? So if we are the internal feedback system, so if you start asking this question, so if we are providing the feedback, or if we are the headlight of the vehicle, what should I do so that along with me, the vehicle and its owner reaches the destination safe? Is providing the feedback very early, providing the right feedback, providing the feedback without any any fog or visibility. Again, you connect to headlight. What it does, it provides visibility. You have to provide the right visibility very early so that the stakeholders have enough time to take necessary action. Okay, so this is the software testing, the view of Moolya, and this is from the book Buddha in Testing. I think I pointed out this last week in Pradeep's meeting as well. At the end, I told there is only one thing I expect people in this group to do is, it's a very good starting point. If you want to know, that is the path. I think I shared in the previous session as well. If not, this is something that I keep telling. This session is more to show you the path. It's you need to walk the path, and in order for you to, so this session is just showing the path. Buddha in Testing, Lessons Learned Software Testing. These two books are kind of a map. If you really wanted to walk the right path without getting lost, those two are the maps that you need to always keep with you. Okay, so this is Moolya's view towards giving the feedback. Software testing is providing the feedback. Okay, so how many of you have read Agile Manifesto? agilemanifesto.org. How many of you know sprint? What is sprint?
Sprint is a time frame in which we deliver something.
Sprint is a time frame in which we deliver something. Okay. What is Agile?
It's a process where we build
Process
Software.
will build the software. Okay. Software development model. Again, good example of a
Yeah.
model. Okay, great. This is where again, I have some concerns with the industry because sometimes we are too carried away by uh, not understanding the why. Again, I will come back to the same question of why. This. My focus is always trying to help you people to understand why. Okay, that is the purpose of this whole session. So because what and how you need to go on, you can figure out. Uh, Again, coming why sprint? Why people are following the 2 week sprint? Why not 4 week? Why not 1 week? Why daily stand up? Why not something else? Okay. So again, the reason, or if you go back to it's an agile, right? Sprint. If everybody will, you all agree to that it's an agile, right? It's an agile approach. Okay. So, but why sprint? For that, we need to understand, the philosophy of agile. Okay. So there is something called Agile Manifesto. So agilemanifesto.org. You can even read in your own language. It is written in 100 different language, including Hindi, Tamil, Telugu. Okay, so this is again, you said process. Yes, it is a kind of an ideology, or it is a kind of belief system. Like again, we spoke about views, right? Views about software testing. Of course, the software testing views will not be talked much outside of Moolya, as I said. But agile is something that is become pretty mainstream, and it is like everybody knows follows agile. There is no other way to develop software. Is the how the world has become. Okay, so where do you think all these started? Okay, again, if you look back into the history, it started somewhere in 2001. Same time, our CDT is also started. Okay, what happened is, as the technology grows, as the world is changing, some thought leaders and visionaries of software development then thought that it's time to change the way we develop software. Okay, those days are gone because the web is coming up. Those are the days when we'll wait for 6 months to 1 year to develop a software, and people will take that, write it in a CD, and then go to the client location, put the CD, sit 1 week there. Those are all called the installation teams. They will install. All those things are happening. So there is no need for people to be in hurry. There is no competitor. Even if the competitor is there, he also will take 6 months to 1 year. Okay. So, but as the web started, becoming popular, they realized these things are not going to work anymore. You can't wait for write a document for 100-page requirement document, take it up, come up with a design. It's a linear process, step by step. That's why it's called waterfall. You can connect, right? So it's waterfall model. So these group set of people connected and did a week long or a 10 days of workshop, and they came up with thoughts, a view. Okay, here is how the world needs to develop software if they wanted to succeed or survive in the future. Okay, they came up with philosophy, I would say. I think that's a more better one. So they came up with the philosophy of, what is the philosophy at high level? Individuals and interactions over process and tools. Okay, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. If you do these, that is when in the future you will be. It is in 2000. You in the future, if somebody wants to succeed in software, developing a software and sending it to market and make the business succeed, this is what a software development approach should be. Okay, so this is a philosophy. So what is that you can't do with this is, this does not tell you what to do. Okay, this tells how to do. Okay, or why you need to get here. Okay, so this is more of a philosophy. You may understand philosophy. Let's say tomorrow I give this to you. Okay, hey, here is Agile Manifesto. Now go and develop software. What will you do? You will not be able to, there are no action items out of this. Okay, so this is a more of a philosophy. Okay, so that is where the sprint comes in. So somebody, understood this philosophy, and they ask a question. Okay, this is the philosophy. How can I make it practically work? I want something actionable, a measurable, deliverable thing that I need to know, so that I can give it to the team, and the team can pick it up and run. So this philosophy is what somebody picked up and converted it to a sprint. Okay, sorry, not sprint, a scrum. That is called Scrum method, right? So Scrum. So this Agile, somebody picked up this Agile manifesto and converted this, or created, not converted, created a workable, actionable, trackable method, which is called Scrum. Okay. So individuals and the interactions over process and tools. Okay. What should I do if I want to have more interactions and individuals? So what are we doing now in Scrum? What is it we do every day?
You used to share their hour update.
Yeah, you have to just answer 3 questions, right? What you did yesterday, what you will do today, and what is the blocker. These are the 3 things that you need to answer. Somebody who pick it up and try to do. And why is it called daily stand-up? Because if you stand, you will not run beyond the 15 minutes. But now what happens? The stand-up runs for 1 hour. Okay, so now tell me, is this an actionable one? So here is what it says. What is a Scrum says? Hey, you team connect every day for not more than 15 minutes and answer these 3 questions. Okay, the person responsible, whom we call Scrum Master, will be the one who will be unblocking you. Okay, so is this actionable equivalent of individuals and interactions? Right? Okay, that is how this manifesto is got converted to an actionable Scrum approach, a Scrum method. Okay, working software over comprehensive documents. That is where you got less documented user stories, and what you do working software. That is what you do at the 2 weeks, at the end of 2 weeks, right? Show and tell, product demo, right? That is what it is converted. So do show your working software to the customer instead of documenting. That is what now Scrum converted this into. Okay, let's have every 2 weeks, let's show them the working software as a demo during our product demo or the show and tell. Okay, that is what is that customer collaboration over contract. Okay, sorry, this is more of the product demo that also comes there. Again, I'm not running into all the things. So these are the examples how responding to change over following a plan. Okay, so let's not plan for 6 months. Let's do 2 week sprint. Right? There is, see, go and right away, people, you just go and look at the meaning for agile. Okay, literally the dictionary meaning of the word agile. So it's all about flexible. Okay, but unfortunately, where the industry headed is, we strictly follow 2 week sprint. We strictly have daily stand-ups every day. No, it's not necessary. Okay, so responding to change. Okay, maybe we will have a 2 weeks, shorter, cycles, so that we are ready for change. So this is how an agile manifesto is picked up and converted into an actionable an actionable method, that is Scrum. And there are many other methods that has been took this philosophy of agile manifesto, agile software development, that they have converted into different models. Scrum again became pretty popular. Okay, so that is what an agile under Scrum is. So similarly, what I have touched up so far is our our approach. Okay, so this is what someone had a business idea. So this is the feedback loop. Okay, so feedback loop. Why feedback? See, feedback not alone helps somebody else to be better. If we are the ones who are giving feedback to others, we also need to have a constant feedback to ourselves. Okay, so why do you think feedback is needed? Why feedback?
to improve on what we are doing and understand what we are lagging from someone else's perspective, because we might not be able to see it from our own perspective.
Yes. So it applies to, as you said, if it's, if you're getting a feedback on you, yes, what somebody else, perspective is on how I am doing, right? Again, it's their perspective. If you believe, okay, this is the person who really cares and have a better perspective, you will go and ask them. That is in general what we do, and why it helps, why we need to do, because we have blind spots. We will not be able to observe ourselves, so we ask others to provide feedback so that we get better and better at certain things. That's the same is true with software testing as well. So this is so far what I have discussed in the from session 1. Maybe not much on session 2, and today is Moolya's testing manifesto. Okay, to put it in one line, we are the ones who provide the feedback to the relevant stakeholder by providing quality related information, the state of quality. We provide feedback about the state of the quality. Again, I want to emphasize, we provide what do you provide? The feedback about the state of the quality. We are not assuring the quality. We cannot improve the performance. Sorry, we cannot improve the quality. We cannot, dictate even you going the other words, we cannot even dictate the quality. So we all together as a product team, engineering team, the other stakeholders, including sales, marketing of the, the business, plus testing team is the one who all together, improve the quality. We all together, improve the customer experience, user experience, like Tumul was talking about Panda, right? So how do you do? So you alone cannot do. Even you, let's say you can only share the quality related information. What if you can say there are 100 bugs? What if the product decide not to fix the bug? You are not reducing the bug. You alone cannot reduce the bug. Will you go and sit and write the code and reduce the bug? Do we have that? Do you have the responsibility, or do we have the power to do that? Right? We can't. That is, end of the day, that is the business that decides, right? So for instance, you might think that, hey, this is a very critical bug that I am logging. New users are not able to register, right? Is it not a very critical bug? So do you think that, let's say you found a very interesting bug. You think that it's a very, very critical bug. Here is the bug. Okay, as a new, so let's say let's say you are testing Swiggy or Cred or Myntra or Flipkart, and there is a bug. A new build is coming. Some new features are added. So you are about to go to market this Friday. Friday is usually this happens, right? So yesterday you are getting a build, and then you found a very critical bug. You are not able to register as a new user. So what will you do? Is it a critical bug?
Yeah, it's a critical bug.
It's a critical. Okay. Okay. Do you think this bug needs to be fixed?
Yes, because since it is going live tomorrow, so it is our responsibility to fix it and give it to the customers.
Okay, great. Let's say I am the product owner. I am the deciding person who sits at head of product or head of, let's say, CEO of Myntra just for a few minutes, and then but I say no, I am not going to fix this bug. What will you do? There is a reason. I'll tell you. You see, the good thing is, next thing you need to ask me. Okay, why you are not fixing the bug? What is your perspective? That again coming back to so again their perspective, right? It's again different perspectives, right? So why? Let's say I had a discussion with the engineering team. They figured out it will take a few days to fix it, and I wanted to release today. There is a new feature going. Because of this feature, I'm going to have probably a bigger a Diwali sale, something related to the festival season, which is coming next week. but I need to release today. If not, my competitor is going to release me. Let's say, what is the other competitor app? I can't think about Flipkart because it's all same company now. Walmart, they are acquired. Who else? Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, we got Amazon, right? But may not be Amazon is not the right competitor. Let's say Amazon. There is a buzz that Amazon is something coming up with something new, right? How the decisions are taken is usually these are business decisions, right? These are not technical decisions. See, at the top, the decisions are taken purely by business, right? Whether it will impact the business. Okay, of course it impacts. Technically, it is a problem, right? Some new users are not to register. But how the decisions are taken, for example, the question, if I am sitting at is, I will look at the data of how many new users do I get registered in the past 1 year, or maybe during the last season sale, or during the last $1 billion sale. Okay, given that we all know how far these apps exist, I've been in business for 10, 15 years. The new users getting registered are these days, it's very small, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Even if you think more practically, that is what the situation will be, right? How many new users getting registered in Myntra these days? Anybody know the answer? Intuitively, can we assume that it will be very less, right? Or let's say if it's a new product, let's say you're launching a new product, then of course the same bug, let's say Myntra is not in the market and you find this bug, how to stop? There is no other go. Assuming the point I want to convey is it's a business that decides, right? More than testers, it's the business that's know what is critical, right? Again, the context is again a classic example of context, right? So if the same project, if the same thing, if the context is Myntra does not exist in the market and it wants to go to market today, that is a completely different thing, right? So that is what collectively we do. So that is what we do, and this is what we have covered. This is the perspective, this is the view, this is the philosophy of testing in Moolya. In order to do this, I touched upon why we align towards context driven testing, why modeling is important. Okay, so with this in place is what we have created this Moolya, that model. Okay, so this philosophy is converted. Like if you wanted to compare this with what I discussed as an example of Agile. So that is what I picked up on Agile, and more important thing is, so far what I was talking and showing you certain things are you can consider as the philosophy. Okay, this is what will be mostly present in our wiki, also in Pradeep's book CODA in Testing. Okay, that is more a philosophy. And what as a head of delivery, being in Moolya for a while, my job was or the delivery teams, the delivery leadership job is to convert that philosophy into actionable model. That is why we got, again, if you ask, is this model perfect, is this model good enough to deliver any kind of project, it is a big debatable thing. But that is also kept in a view that, again, connecting with our philosophy in place, that is why I have this. Because this is the code, that is the first sentence I wrote it in this document. Okay, again, comparing this, see that's idea, right? Whatever we discussed, Agile is an idea. Moolya way of testing is an idea. Moolya's vision, preventing bug, that is an idea. But to convert that idea to a reality, you need a disciplined execution. Execution is what it takes to convert idea into reality, not discounting the effort that is required for an idea. Sometimes, this is again, don't take it, just the word ideas are easy. Is it easy? No, not necessarily. But compared to execution, maybe the ideas are easy to get, but you will get it. So that is what the thing is. For example, if the other example I constantly give is the even an Apple iPhone or whatever it is. So they got the idea, but it takes immense effort to convert that idea to a reality. The reality is possible only by a team, an idea an individual can get, but execution, converting to an idea to reality, you need a team. For the team to win, it has to be executed. It has to be executed consistently, and it has to need a lot of discipline. Okay, in order to get there is what that is where we converted that idea to a more of an executable structure. Again, loosely coupled structure. Pradeep spoke about scaffolding. Scaffolding was a failure. The learnings taken from the scaffolding was put it here, and for Moolya's vision, the way we think, the more we get into a structure, it is actually counterintuitive to Moolya's vision. So that is where it is always very hard to find the balance. So even if you look at it, will be very lean approach, but at least you will get to know here are the 4 things that you always need to do if you want to do a Moolya way of testing. Okay, the philosophy we read from Pradeep's book is condensed to a 5-step process. Okay, the first one is you need to understand the context that will lead to build a test strategy. Okay, without strategy, you shouldn't be jumping into doing any testing. Okay, that is one important thing. Every stage you need to build your strategy. The strategy building part is mostly the model that you do. That is why I picked up on the models last week. And most of the other views or philosophies you see outside, they don't emphasize much on the the thinking skills or the knowledge building, creating a model, and then getting into execution. Okay, so there is a famous proverb, right? It's attributed to Abraham Lincoln. So if you give 10 hours to cut a tree, I spend 8 hours sharpening my axe. Same thing is what you need to apply everywhere. Even today, let's say suddenly Myntra comes and says, or Flipkart says, hey, there is a critical release. There was a bug that found yesterday night. We quickly did a patch. Today evening, it has to go to release. Start testing. Let's say this is what is being told to Sneha when she enters the office today at 11 o'clock. What will you do? You again shouldn't be jumping, oh, okay, give me the build, start logging in and doing testing. No. Get the team, come up with a, if you have 6 hours to test, spend half an hour, at least half an hour. Half an hour is, based on experience. Yeah, if you put the bell curve, I would say, it is the mean value, I would say. Right. So you quickly get together, ask questions, understand the context, starts again here. So understand the context. Why it is so important that you need to send a patch? Why you didn't even tell me yesterday night? In spite of that, you have fixed the bug, and you wanted this to go, but not the other release. So that is understanding the context, why it is critical. Then you will ask the question, what fix was done? Quickly call the developer or whoever is part of the team, understand what fix is done, try to see which part they have touched. Is the UI change, or they did some modification to the services, and then you as a testing team, you connect, okay, these are the changes, here is the reason. So now let's say a good environment where you have some 100 test cases written, but it's okay, that's a customer environment, nothing wrong. You can't tell customer don't write test cases. I think we touched upon that as well. And quickly understand, okay, here is what, these are the areas impacted, so why not we do these things. And then then you divide and conquer. Okay, here are the areas that I am going to focus. This person pick this. If it's an Android, quickly come up with a list of devices to cover, do certain things, right? You don't jump into testing. This exactly is what a test strategy is. At any point of the time, you start with some new problem solving. You start with context understanding, followed by creating a strategy. Then you get into execution. Once you do the execution, then what you do? You start reporting what you did, or what will you do at the end of the day? Okay, here is the report. Hey, we tested, things seems to be fine. Here are the things that we tested. Here are the things we couldn't test because of the time constraint. Here is the risk of not testing these. Let's say you have found some issues. These issues are shared. Here are the devices covered. Here are the automation scripts run. You present your test coverage report. What is that? That is what exactly is like a headlight you are doing. Okay, this is, if you want to compare this, suddenly there was some emergency, I pick up my car at late night, 1 o'clock, and start driving. right? You need to give me the headlights need to provide the visibility. That is a test report. Then you provide reporting of your understanding. What should that report do? That report has the value that we are trying to deliver. Okay, so this is the 5-step. See, it could be every day when the problem is put in front of you, you follow these 5 steps. Okay, it is not that starting of the project. Okay, you created a strategy, you understood the context, you have written somewhere, and let that remain there forever without even observed, without even being referred, or without being even reused. Okay, so last 3 months you would have been working on a regular release. Okay, so that time you would have created a strategy. Okay, here is the release. What is the release? For Diwali, I want to send a new feature. You had a context understanding. You had a strategy for that. That is, as a team, you will have, or your customers leadership team could have given a strategy. But as an individual, you have your own strategies at each stage, right? So you have a sprint. What is a sprint? Okay, here are the 4 stories we are covering. What is my strategy to test this? You come up with starting of the sprint. Okay, the sprint is going. Suddenly today they stopped and said, hey, we are stopping the sprint. There is a production issue. There is a problem. I want you to test. No, again, here is the case. You are not again jumping into testing because it's a new problem statement, new context. You understand the context, build a quick strategy. If possible, share that with the customer upfront or the relevant stakeholder. Hey, here is our approach. Get a quick review, feedback. You need to get the feedback for your work. But if testing is the feedback for others, you need to get a feedback for your work and then jump and then get into execution. Okay, execution is where every tester outside of Moolya, majority, talks about execution. And also keep in mind, the execution is the only layer where you automate. Okay, so test automation, this execution can be done manually. I can use the term manually. That's okay during the execution part. So either you can execute manually or you can automate it. Everything else is a deep thinking human activity that needs brain. That is why Moolya's initial days, it's a brain testing. No script can understand the context. No script can build the strategy. No script can, of course, it can build you nice charts. That's well and good. Okay, that can be automated. No doubt about that. But it is we who interpret that data and then share that with the stakeholders, and it's a human again who takes informed decision based on that. So what is the value that we are delivering? We are delivering valuable or quality related information with which the stakeholders can take an informed decision on the quality of the product. Okay, so our input should have all information that is relevant for them to take a decision. Okay, so that's what the Moolya value is.